Man, I
But
started it.
oh, they took LGBT, like they're freaking out because LGBT whatever was taken. There's no mention of it in the on WhiteHouse.gov,
Right.
and there's no mention of climate change anywhere, and they're freaking out saying it's already happening. I'm like, no, like it's happening because it happens with every president. Like the White House, puts up the issues that that
Mm-hmm.
president's working on.
Yeah.
Not, not really any slam towards gay people or the bunch of initials
But
that you want to
you
go
know what's
by.
funny is now that like there's a reason to bash if that's not a troll account on Twitter, like they have the opportunity to bash that Twitter thing for putting the P on the end of that. But that's neither here nor there. So let's destroy some Starbucks, you guys. Sounds pretty good, right?
Yeah,
Let's
Starbucks.
fucking destroy some Starbucks out of angry,
No, the
some
angry
prices
limos
should be
too.
even
protest.
higher.
Some limos too, man. They destroyed some limos as well. Set them on fire.
Yeah, people are crazy.
All because I mean, now mind you, now they did this like picture or whatever of uh I guess Obama's inauguration and Trump's inauguration at the exact same time of the day on the Washington Monument, or the mall, and how many people were in there, and you could see a big difference between the two crowds. And like somebody tweeted out going, "You do realize that Obama was the very first black president ever? Like that's going to draw a much larger crowd than just another president."
Wait,
Right?
I
who
mean,
who had the larger crowd?
Obama did.
Obama did.
I
Yeah.
mean, from these pictures. But now, mind you, I don't know. I don't really remember this, but
Well, the riots and the violence and the window breaking and the limo burning might turn some people away from going
well,
out there
not to
too.
mention this, but the police. I don't know why the police were allowing this, but they were showing this like on live stream, like the stream I was watching. People were walking up to to go to the mall, to be able to get there, and they had protesters locking arms side to side. Said, you could not go. This entrance is closed. This entrance is closed." And they made everybody, like, people turn around and go walk all the way around, to another entrance to get in. So I mean, hell, I mean the amount of time it took people to get in there, could have been like forever, because if they closed down majority of the things, I don't even know why that's illegal.
Why?
Because
Why?
like to
Why
me,
would they? Why would they like? Like
Well,
so?
you don't want to arrest a black person and be called racist, would you?
oh no, these were all white. But they were all white, but they were all holding up Black Lives Matter signs.
Yeah.
And
And
I'm
well,
like,
if you
you
don't
do
agree with
realize
Black
that?
Lives Matter, you're a bigot and you're a racist.
Oh my god, guys, are we really going to talk about this? Everybody's kind of wondering. Yes, we are talking about this, you guys.
No,
this
man,
is
can we?
something-
God, fuck.
No?
God damn it. We don't have to talk about this fucking bullshit.
Okay, what do you want to talk about?
No one in
Any,
DC gets
literally
Starbucks
anything
now.
else, anal warts, anything else besides politics. I'm burnt
Harambe's
out. Let's try it
grandma
again.
died.
Let's try it again in like June. And yes, Harambe's grandma did die, and that's awful.
Conspiracy, man.
Well, that's always fun. Anything new in gaming? Anything interesting? Anything actually good coming out in the coming year besides Nintendo stuff?
Well, not for. Well, I've did the I'm doing a Switch video right now. That should be done fairly soon. I won't have it out this morning. I did a video this morning, but it'll probably be out tomorrow morning because it's easy to do. Because it's a breeze when you just have gameplay in the back and you're just talking over it. Holy shit, it is a breeze. It's not like the other videos where they have that and you have to go find something and quote it and crop it and then put it in and this is this information. You have to go and look around for this and that. No, you just bullshit in front of a video for however long it takes.
Yeah.
So, let me see. It's about the Switch. I'm talking about the Switch.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
everyone else is doing the Switch. I was like, sure, this will be something I could pump out pretty easy.
Yeah.
Talking
Like his
about
sex
the
life.
Switch.
So did that Riley chick guy thing block you on Twitter yet?
Oh, let me check. I haven't checked. I don't care.
And did they- and did they ever-
Riley-
and
The
did-
feminist with the Adam's apple?
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
Did have they at least comment on your video or anything? Nothing?
I don't know.
That would've
I
been
don't
fun.
know. I don't care. This person is. I mean, this person is like, no, she has not. So, I expected her to already, but I guess not. In any event, Riley J. Dennis is like God's gift to YouTube responders. Okay,
I know everybody I know is on that.
This is everything she does is most. I think I was only able to find like 2 videos that weren't mostly negative, but everyone should be. What an idiot! I mean, her newest video was
What's her
trans women are not biologically male.
Yeah,
And
I
sex is
saw
a
that.
social construct.
Yeah.
Sex is a social construct. Because fuck science and biology. Sex is a social construct. Gender, sure. Gender roles, sure, absolutely. But sex, come on. That's insane. This person, of course, she lives in Los Angeles, California. Of course, she does.
No one would have guessed her at San Francisco.
A reminder for, of course, she retweeted, if you are neutral in situations of injustice, you have chosen the side of the oppressor. Yeah, because it's easy to tell who's the oppressor, right?
Wow.
Everyone's fucking oppressed. Everyone's bitching.
This is another one of those situations where, like, that person doesn't understand words. Like, do you know what social construct is? Like, you can't just look at something and say, oh, that's social construct. It doesn't work that way.
Yeah, there are a lot of things that are social constructs because humans are social creatures, and a lot of our survival is owed to the fact that we have social constructs. Unjust or just, it doesn't matter. That we are where we are now, and we are successful and thriving as a species and getting better and better because we are built upon social constructs of the past.
Boom. Somebody take a snippet of that and make sure you retweet it on Twitter. And tag Riley in it about 300 times, if you would, please. Thanks. Because this person needs a serious fucking lesson in the language.
Yeah, and of course, thank you, Obama. Thank you, Obama. Please don't leave, Obama. Thank you so much, Obama. Shit, the dude's drone striked and deported more people than anyone else in history. Holy shit. He's destroyed our reputation abroad. He's broken down our allies more. He's in place dictators like Erdogan, and he hasn't fought against. It's what a mess. What a mess of a president. What a mess of a president. Slowest economic recovery since the Great Depression. What a loser president. But it just goes to show how strong a cult of personality can be. Everybody is able to look past terrible, horrible policy if you're just nice. If you go on the Ellen DeGeneres show and you do a little dance, people will be able to look past everything that you do. Ugh.
It's a life lesson.
Yeah, there you go. If you can't be right, then just be personable, and everyone will be all over that shit.
Woo!
What a miserable, miserable president.
Well,
So, Rambo, 1316 killer, huh? Yeah? So he's kind of like going balls deep in on you over his comment section like he does everybody else that disagrees with him because he doesn't know how to disagree with people or even talk to people normally like everybody else?
Pretty much. He has some sort of beef with Angry Joe, and I guess he's allowing his personal beef with him to actually dictate like his ability to, function as properly as a normal human.
Because Angry Joe slapped him down in his comment section. Like Angry
he
Joe
did? See, I don't
actually
even know
watched Angry Joe actually watched one of his videos and he went to his comment section and slapped his fucking nose and showed him how wrong he was. And then 1316 was like, oh, wow, he actually commented back. And he did another video shit-talking the guy after the guy commented on his video and gave him the attention that he wanted. It was a fucking joke. It was a shit show. This guy is really, like, he has no logical standpoint whatsoever.
Well, he definitely does it on this video because he's saying, apparently, I guess, like he's upset that Angry Joe was like talking about like suing Nintendo, and so apparently that made Angry Joe self-entitled and whiny, like whining and being a crybaby. And I'm like, you do realize that? I mean, he has. I don't even watch Angry Joe. I can't stand him.
Corporate. If he can't understand that corporate greed does not overthrow customer review.
Well, it's just fair use. It's
fair use, motherfucker. What do you not understand about that? How hard is that to go read?
Nintendo against the law.
Yeah, exactly,
It's very
exactly.
simple. It's just blatantly fair use.
Yep.
Basically, him and I mean, there's some. Whenever I shared to a couple of areas or whatever, and during that area, like on Facebook or whatever, there's somebody commented saying it's not about fair use, it's about like Joe knows Nintendo does this, so he shouldn't even upload. And I'm like, no,
you
like you don't, just because Nintendo does it doesn't make it right.
and it doesn't mean they should keep getting away with it. So
Yeah, like,
how does somebody not get away with it for any longer? You keep
Mm-hmm.
fucking fighting against it until
Like, you
everybody
don't
else
just
starts
accept
doing it.
it.
Yeah, exactly. You don't just roll over when someone kicks you. No, you fucking punch back.
And he has every right. I mean, granted, like I said, I don't like the guy. Like, it has nothing to do with me even liking his content or anything like that. But he just has every right to fight for fair use. Like, and I would support the fact that if he sued Nintendo, because I mean, Nintendo does need to, like. Now I understand if they want to claim their Let's Plays, because you're really not adding anything transformative to it. But whenever you're doing a review, or especially like Angry Joe definitely adds something transformative
It's
to every
extremely
review.
transformative, yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
because I mean he does a whole skit and
the whole thing with YouTube allowing Nintendo and companies like Nintendo to get away with it is fucking ludicrous.
yes, like they should know what they should know what fair use is. Like they should
And
be
just
able to.
There are a bunch of old people stuck in the 90s and they don't understand the world. I mean, look at the Switch. They're so stuck in a world that doesn't exist anymore. They have no clue about anything. Holy shit.
And look at this, and look at this situation right now. Rags is a prime example, okay? Prime example of somebody fucking going against copyright strikes for the same reason. And look at what happened when you put the two situations side by side. You have Nintendo on one hand striking users that are using it as a fair use basis, and then you have a YouTube striking Rags down, a fellow YouTuber, on the same basis. Guess who wins out every time? The fucking corporations. That's what YouTube caters to, and I think that's bullshit.
Well, yeah, because I mean that's basically who's giving them most of the money, with advertisements and stuff. Like, because Nintendo does advertise on there, so I mean they're paying some of YouTube's bills, so they're going to err on the side of the person paying them money rather than, the content creator, which is stupid because I mean to me, like, they should err on the side of the law. It doesn't really matter who's paying their bills. It should matter like what the law actually is.
Yeah. It's a joke. It
But
really
yeah,
is.
I mean, I tried like having just a civil discourse with him, back and forth, and
Yeah, there is no such thing as civil with that guy. Like,
I never have
At all.
I never have interacted with him. I don't even watch his content. Like, it just happened to pop up, and I was
some
like,
of his stuff is pretty funny, and there are times where I've done video responses to the guy, and he never, like, answered or addressed anything directly as to what I was saying, and that's my problem with him. He does not pay attention to a one-on-one discourse. All he'll do is he'll shit on you, you'll respond, and he'll shit on you about something else that you said prior to that, and never truly address any of your points ever. That's what he does. It's fucking annoying, actually.
yeah, I wasn't actually even going to make the video. Just I mean, I tried everything else. So I mean, at that point, I really didn't have much else to go on. I was trying to just get a point across to him because, like, what he's doing is promoting the fact that we should just all ignore, laws, and just give it up to Nintendo because Nintendo is hey, Nintendo, and he doesn't quite understand like who owns the content. And I mean, it's kind of ironic whenever he's using other people's footage, especially during that video there. He was using Angry Joe's footage, but he's using their footage in his video. And it's like, it's kind of ironic that you're using these things and you're fighting against fair use. Like, you wouldn't even if fair use didn't exist, you wouldn't even have the ability to do what you're doing right now.
And you hear this all the time. You hear, I mean, I used to get into this with Mr. T all the time, and I'm actually cool with the guy. But his number one thing is, well, it's their content. They could do what they want. And I said, but YouTubers don't have that same fucking stance. If Rags was to do a video on me, and I went to go flag it, nobody would sit there and say, well, Brimstone can do what he wants because it's his content. Do you see what I mean? Like, the hypocrisy is real with these fucking idiots. And they allow companies to get away with anything they want to fucking get away with. regardless of if they're getting paid money or not. You could be a small indie developer and go and flag someone's video for talking about your game. I know, I've seen it. It happens here on YouTube all the time. It's bullshit. It's fucking irritating, actually.
It is, and like the video irritated me, and then the comment section, and then like he kept going in like as far as like wanting just to insult me rather than actually talking. Apparently, like I just can't understand what entitlement means, and I was like, well, you're fucking stupid because it has nothing to do with entitlement. But I could not get through it. He kept more. I guess the more and more he kept going, it didn't really infuriate me. Just kind of like it upset me to the point like I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna make a video because I'm gonna get my words out whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
I mean, fair use is the reason that you can have any gameplay footage. So any company or any channel that has gameplay footage, I mean, there's a reason that you could do that.
Yeah.
There's a reason that you can stream. There is first off, there's the aspect of it's good for the developers and the publishers to have gameplay footage out there, to have people use it. But it's also the
Well, how good is that though for them every time though? Like especially let's just say Ubisoft games. A lot of them are fucked a lot of the time.
Well, that gets them to make better games. Quite frankly, it's better for us. It's either better for them or it's better for us. It's better for somebody.
Yeah.
And when it's better for them, that doesn't mean it's better for us. It doesn't mean it's not better for us. I mean, it's good for them to have their games out and about if they're good games. And if they weren't good games anyway, it's good that we know about them. So it's never a negative when we can see the gameplay footage as in an organic fashion.
Okay.
I mean, as far as like streaming, because I mean, Nintendo has the thing called Nintendo's Creators Program,
Which is stupid.
It is stupid. I mean, it is stupid, but I mean, they have every right to have this because, like, when you're like, for me, like, if I'm playing this game right now, I'm not really playing it. I'm just pushing buttons. But it's called Root Letter. I don't even know who makes it. But if I was to stream it, I'm not talking about it. I'm not critiquing it. I'm not doing anything besides just putting the content out on the internet. And basically, interacting with the people watching the stream, like what we're talking about, different shit. So technically, I mean, if they wanted to, the person that owned this game or whatever made this game could claim my video, and they would be right to do that. Typically, they don't, because they like their game out there, out and about. They understand like what streaming and stuff does for them. However, Nintendo though doesn't quite understand or doesn't quite get that. I guess because they feel like that might cut into their revenue, so they created this thing. Now they're every right to do that, and they do it quite often, but people fail to understand that there's a difference between streaming and doing a review, or even I guess like what Angry Joe did that he got flagged for, is he live streamed and live streamed the Nintendo event. And if you're just sitting there watching the event and not really talking about it, but if you're critiquing it as it's actually happening, then you are within your right for fair use. But they seem to think that everything that, since Nintendo has this, that everything that's Nintendo made or Nintendo, I guess, originated, that's capable of them being claimed by Nintendo Creators Program, and it's not.
The Creators Program is a way around something that shouldn't exist anyway.
Yeah.
It shouldn't, but they have they have every right to do the Creators Program. It shouldn't. I mean, it's definitely anti us and anti them. I mean, it's actually hurting them as well too, because a lot of YouTubers stay away from even touching Nintendo content just because they're not going to.
It's like it's too much trouble, and why bother?
So it hurts them, it hurts us, but at the same time, I mean, they are within their legal right to claim videos that are being streamed, because streaming doesn't fall under fair use. It doesn't. Fair use, you have to actually add something transformative to it.
So,
and you're not really being transformative if you're just playing the game and people are watching you.
Well, yeah, it is. Your gameplay will be different from anybody else's.
No, that wouldn't fall under.
That would.
That's like a that would.
All right. Good luck with that. I mean, good to see you guys are on the right side of this.
Well, I mean, the way. I mean, just that's a like a. That
That's
would be
just,
like
dude.
trying
That's
to
quite literally
nit-
how YouTube does it. I mean,
Oh well, then in that case, I'm sure it's wrong.
right. Exactly.
I don't know if that would. I don't think that would stick up in court though.
Yeah, like that fucking means anything these days.
right?
Oh no, but I mean, at the end of the day, I mean that's the ultimate end of the road on that end.
It's absolute fucking garbage bullshit.
Mm,
Can't stream games.
love garbage bullshit.
Well, the only people who don't allow you to do it is Nintendo.
Yeah, that's because Nintendo's stuck in the past.
Yeah, though they
Nintendo's
don't
a bunch of
understand.
angry fools.
Nintendo.
And it's not Nintendo America, it's Nintendo Japan.
Yeah, Nintendo America said they were fine with everything.
Nintendo Japan is
That's why
an old
that's why the
relic.
Switch is going to be a disaster. It's going to suck.
It's a fucking relic. It's never gonna go anywhere. They're gonna keep hemorrhaging money on empty fucking investments that nobody wants, except for if they release another fucking 3DS edition, everybody will buy it, and that's the only thing that's saving them. Let's be real here. Their online marketing is the only other thing that's giving them the revenue, because what are they doing? They're going around claiming everybody's fucking video that has even remotely a Nintendo image in it, for fuck's sakes. I mean,
There's a lot of people who won't buy it just out of principle.
yeah, that too.
And there's the fact that, I mean, they just don't listen to anything. They're just going to do their thing. They don't care about what consumers want. They don't care what people want. That's why there's only 6 launch titles. That's why there's online service that's paid. That's why there's nothing about the Switch is really good. The tiny nice things about it are vastly overpowered by the awful, terrible things about it.
Yeah.
Like we're gonna add an online service. You get 1 game a month. You don't get to keep it. You have to keep paying if you want to keep it.
You do get to keep it. They
keep paying.
did. That was a rumor that we were wrong on that. They did come back and I guess confirm that you do get to keep the title.
Thank
Oh,
God
you
they're
know,
letting
you-
us keep a Super Nintendo game.
Thank
Yeah.
God.
I
Yeah,
NES game.
I know that was
I
a
get
deal
one
breaker for
NES game
some,
a
so I
month.
just wanted to make sure.
yeah.
Yeah, for
Well-
fucking fools.
Well, we did kind of rag on it for a while, so that's good.
Well, yeah, and we should have based on what we knew.
Yeah, absolutely.
And plus, 1 game a month, 1 old ass game a month. Wow, that's so compelling.
Hey
Any
guys,
game for a month.
you'd be kind of fucked though, is if they released the same game for like the first 6 months. It's the same shit. They're like, oh yeah, if you guys missed it, here you go. You gotta get it again. Here you go.
I mean, isn't every NES and Super NES game emulated on the PC anyway?
Yeah.
And I can't imagine that there are not emulators for it. I just haven't looked it up, but I imagine that every NES and SNES game is on the PC.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah. I mean,
And
it's
if you
something-
didn't, and if you wanted to go OG, you can go and pick one up for $6 and whatever games you want.
Yeah.
So it's ridiculous, and as if they didn't need to castrate their online gaming experience even more with that stupid phone app. And I mean, now it's paid. Now they can't even say, well, at least it's free. One of the ultimate excuses, well, at least it's free. They can't even say that anymore. So what are we paying for exactly? 1 NES game a month. Ooh, wow. You can't even talk to people on the damn thing. You need a smartphone app to talk to people in an online game.
Because they want to protect their audience.
You
from
might as well
online
play against
interactions.
bots.
All because
You might as well
yeah.
play against bots.
Yeah, you're right. All because they want to protect their online community from themselves. That's what they're doing.
Stupid. It's so stupid. It's gonna fail. It's gonna falter. It's one of the most ridiculous things I've ever heard of in my life. Absolutely. I mean, what a joke that you have to pay for a service and it doesn't even include the ability to talk to people. It's not disabled by default. It's not some setting you have to find. It's not anything like that. It's not something parents can control. No. It's not there. It doesn't exist. Get a smartphone app. That makes it easier for kids to get, right? Having it not be on the console that the parents can just turn off like that, that makes it easier for the kids because they'll just get the smartphone app.
Yeah.
They just use the smartphone app on their phone because kids these days have phones for some reason. So everyone's just going to use their smartphone app. They're just going to download it, and there you go.
Woo!
I know it's going to be more toxic than, like Rag said, the parents turning the setting off.
Yeah, because now it's easy. It's easier for them to go around parents now. I know because I had to do this shit for ages. I mean, I'm the one who snuck an Xbox 360 for years past my parents and a 3DS. So, and I know how clueless a lot of parents are about games. I mean, that's why I could be sitting in front of a TV with an Xbox controller, and my parents would think I was playing the Wii because I put the Wii next to the TV and I turned it on. I mean, that's how clueless they are. And I mean, it's just going to be easier for kids to go around. Kids are savvy when it comes to being little tricksters, little pricks. So they're gonna find a way. It's gonna be super easy now. They're just gonna use their.
My guess is that any parent that's only buying, well, I mean, any person or any parent or whatever that's only buying a Nintendo console as like the kid's primary console,
your kid is going to be pretty safe.
Yeah, that kid's probably not going to be going online anyway, even with the app. So I mean, parental controls really isn't much of a thing, or even for that kid to even worry about, because chances are that kid's really young. Now that kid that like maybe 13 or whatever that actually has a Xbox or a PlayStation, and then they get that as well, chances are that mom's not going to care what is said.
And they've been on Xbox or PlayStation, they've heard far worse than what they're going to hear on the Nintendo Switch. I mean,
right?
I can only imagine like how many people would be banned.
I mean, and if you give your kids internet access anyway, then what's the point of trying to protect them from the Switch? I mean, that it's pointless anyway. If you give your kids an internet connection, you're exposing them to the most toxic environment you could possibly expose a kid to. So what's the point of doing anything past that, really? I mean, now they hear angry people online. Well, if you give them an internet connection anyway, then they've already seen vaginas. It doesn't matter. They've already seen boobs and vaginas, and they've already watched porn, because that's what humans do. And I talk a lot in this video about games, and about how the games just aren't there, and how the third-party support is there's so much when it comes to games. Remember, there are only 6 launch titles, I think. And because you have to remember that one of the reasons there's such poor launch support is because one of those launch games is Breath of the Wild, and nobody wants to compete with Breath of the Wild. They would be insane to want to compete with Breath of the Wild. No one wants to release alongside of it. Everybody who buys a Nintendo Switch is going to walk out of that store with a Pro Controller and Breath of the Wild. So you're really spending $460 or so if you get both of those things.
I'm not buying a Pro Controller. So
you got $70 for the Pro Controller, the stuff people actually want, and you have the Breath of the Wild, because it's gonna be a Zelda box for the first 2 months, and then they go into you can go online and you could see the confirmed Nintendo Switch games.
Shit, for some it'll be a Zelda box until the next Zelda. I mean, some people only buy these products for Zelda.
Yeah.
So let me see.
Yeah, I mean, I'm
just not there for this console. Maybe if you buy it in 5 months, that's one thing. But buying this on launch, I mean, I guess if you really, really like Zelda, and remember, 1-2 Switch isn't even being packaged with it. That's $50 if you want 1-2 Switch. It's no Wii Sports. It doesn't come with a game. It doesn't come with a system. No. That's $50 if you want 1-2 Switch. But I guess for some people, milking virtual cows is the closest some people will ever come to touching tits. So, fair enough. But we've got Just Dance 2017, Skylanders Imaginators, and Super Bomberman R. Ooh, wow. I mean, and all these other games. Let me see.
I don't know. I mean,
It's the games. There's so many of these nebulous games that don't have release dates. It's just, maybe around this month, maybe around this season. And then they doled out a lot of games in the presentation that we know basically nothing about, that had no information. EA came out and they talked about FIFA. It's like, okay. Skyrim's coming out for it, because I guess they can still get away with selling Skyrim to people, because everyone's got a boner for Skyrim for some reason. You've got watch Bethesda not release another game ever for the Switch, just Skyrim, and that's it. Then they walk away and they're like, you can't get anything to run on this. There's no way. There's no way a Bethesda game is gonna be able to run on the Switch.
When they said that Skyrim was coming to the Switch, and you're only getting a 30 some odd plus fucking gigabyte SD card, right?
That's
all I gotta say.
It has 32 gigabytes. Yes, the Switch, the storage for the Switch is 32 gigabytes. That means Breath of the Wild will take up about half the space on the Switch. which isn't that huge of a deal when you consider what else are you going to put on the Switch at launch.
Yeah.
So I hope you like to, and I'm certain Nintendo would be more than happy to sell you as many storage cards as you possibly want.
You think? I wonder. Like,
But the storage cards are going to be anybody's. Like you
it
can
could
use
be anybody's. It's not gonna be
Yeah,
Sony. It's not gonna
SanDisk
be.
or whatever.
Okay,
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
sure they can
it's-
sell them too. I'm sure you can keep buying. It's ridiculous for a console to have 32 gigabytes of storage. It's dumb. That's ridiculous.
It is stupid. Yeah, it is.
It is
very-
dumb, but I mean the one positive about it is that you don't.
They didn't
the games
Sony
don't,
it.
The games don't install to the hard drive.
They didn't Sony it. That's all I gotta say is they didn't Sony it. They could have, but they didn't.
Yeah, Sony has the thing. You can't just plug an external anything to a Sony thing, can you? To
No.
PlayStation, can you?
Yeah. No.
Yeah,
Not for your
fucked up.
not for your games, but you can for like music and TV shows and stuff.
Okay, so
Like the PSP, what was it? The PS Vita, their
Yeah.
cards, it was like $76, $80. And I was like, really? And you couldn't use anybody else's shit either. Like it had to be
No,
Sony.
because
Yeah.
they had a special cut. I mean, it was basically the exact same card, but it had like a notch out of it somewhere, like in a certain spot, to where it made it to where it was different than a standard card at the same size.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I don't know. I definitely can see some problems with it, but I mean, I don't understand like what, like nobody. I don't think anybody like should be like complaining about people buying it. I don't.
what? I am. What? Why? That's
Well, I
that's
mean-
awful. Having 32 gigs of storage.
Well,
the
my
default
thought is that
awful.
my thought about that is, I mean, unless you're the one paying for it, for me to get it, then you really don't have a reason to complain to me about me buying it.
Well, you shouldn't have to.
I
It's like I complain about people paying for Xbox Live because it's that's so ridiculous, Rambo.
it's I mean I wouldn't like if you ran out and got a 1080 Ti on launch or whenever it comes out, it's $1,000. I'm not gonna like jump on your ass because you spent $1,000 on a
To play
GPU.
more than 2 games.
But I'm still not gonna be like saying anything to you about your the amount of the money you spend on a GPU compared to like what you have now. It's because it's none of my business what you spend your money on.
Yeah, that would be wise. But also, one of the differences is that the console doesn't come horrendously under-equipped.
But again, you're not the one buying it. So I mean,
Not me personally, because it's
you
so
can
ridiculous.
you can say your opinions on it, but you shouldn't be like telling somebody like
My
they're stupid
opinion
for
is
buying
that
it.
my opinion is that anyone who is okay with a console in 2017 releasing with 2 gigabytes of storage is being ridiculous. 32 gigs in 2017. 32 gigs. You have phones that have more storage than that.
So I do got a question on this though. Like, will this actually accept external hard drives?
Yes.
External,
I
don't
think you
know.
could
I'm
buy.
sure
I
that-
think you could buy external, like card storage thingies.
No, from what I understand, there's an extra USB port for that.
Let's
Really?
see. You can expand. You can buy micro. Okay, you can buy micro SD cards. They're not too expensive. Granted, they're not expensive at all, but you shouldn't have to do that. Because now we're going back to the memory card thing where how many can be in it at once? Are you going to have to keep up with them? Do you have to fumble around with them? I want to play this game, so it's on this memory card. It's like we're going back to what was the GameCube had memory card, right?
Yeah.
So we're going back to that. It's like, okay.
Well, the Wii U and Wii took
What?
SD cards too, didn't they?
Come on.
no,
I don't think so.
no, they didn't take SD cards.
I mean, think about what that does to cripple Nintendo at making their online store a viable alternative to GameStop or Walmart or Amazon. I mean,
Well, that's
basically
for sure. It doesn't.
this makes Nintendo users. It's practically a need for them to purchase these SD cards if you want to download more than a handful of games.
It definitely, I mean, like to me, it kind of forces a person's hand to go physical.
Exactly. It forces your hand to go physical.
And they make more money physically with physical discs, right? Or
No, that would make
cartridges.
less money.
No, it's less money, which is kind
Because,
of
I mean,
weird.
they have to pay money out of pocket
Overhead.
to put the money on the disc and stuff.
Then why would they shoot themselves in the foot like that?
Because it's
Come on now.
Nintendo.
did you really ask that question?
Because they so
I
Nintendo
did
can control
because
what you do.
It is Nintendo. Like Nintendo is like complete. Like they are not. I don't. We keep calling them like a console company and stuff like that. And yeah, granted they are. But in their mind, for some reason, like since they started a long time ago as like a toy company, and they've never got out of that mentality. That's the reason why there's only a 2 million 2 million consoles being sold at launch. They are putting a false demand on this console.
Pretty much, I think they're overhyping mostly. I think they're overhyping Zelda console itself. I mean, they're relying on Zelda to sell this thing out of the gate. They're relying on one game to do all the heavy lifting.
I could almost bet that game is going to be the top seller for the year.
Yeah, it'll be one of the top. You're right. It will be one of the top selling games for the year of everything.
Yeah.
Will it be one of the best? I don't know. Maybe.
I would almost.
Hope so.
I'm just going to go out on a limb right now. I'm going to say that game, regardless if it actually does run perfectly and everything like that, but that game
people treat it like it's fucking
will be the only 10 out of 10 all year long next year, this year.
And
because people will give it to him just because of nostalgia and the fact that it's Zelda.
And I was telling Blackbond this. I was saying, what if Breath of the Wild is a stinker? Will it be one? Probably not. Probably not, because they know how much is really banking on this one game. But what if? I mean, because we know this is the video games industry in modern ages. Anything can happen. What if this game bombs? What if the review scores are low? What if it's broken? What if there are crashes constantly? What if there's graphical bugs? What if there are game breaking bugs? What if it just doesn't work? If the frame rate is all over the place? If it looks terrible? What if this game launches and it is awful? It will destroy the Switch.
Their
success hinges on Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild.
It would, but I mean the likelihood with Nintendo and their quality control like that, like those things happening with a Nintendo, with a Nintendo title is like, we're almost possible for like the Scorpio to come out and Xbox like at E3 to announce they have 24 brand new IPs releasing this year.
Yeah, it's probably not going to happen. It's probably going to be a really good game, but it is Nintendo.
There is a chance. I mean, just Nintendo is like very known for their. Like,
think of how hilarious that would be.
It would be.
It would be. I mean, it would be tragic, of course, because
it would be funny and good. It would be funny and tragic at the same time, because it'd be funny, like, oh my god, like I can't. I mean, the what ifs actually came true, but then tragic was the fact that we know what would happen to Nintendo at that point. There would be no more.
They'd be fucked up.
Yeah, they'd be gone.
They would be in a serious pit.
You would have just the diehards basically supporting them at that point.
And with the Switch they have all their eggs in one basket here. With because no one's gonna buy Skyland. I mean, come on, no one's gonna buy this shit. Everyone wants Breath of the Wild.
I watched a Fringy or whatever the fuck his name is. His video today on John Kill 3D, and apparently John Kill 3D is making a bold prediction for 2017.
I can't wait to hear it.
That the Switch is going to be more powerful than any PC out there.
Oh, really? Yeah, there we go.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can we get back to the people beating up the Starbucks store?
Yeah.
Because at that point, Fringy's like, are you troll? Like, you have to be. You either have to be trolling or you're fucking mentally retarded.
You
like, there's no other choice between the two.
Well, I have come across, and there's no way I'd ever make this link public. I don't want to destroy this poor guy. But I did find a series of 3 videos about 15 minutes long each about some kid he knew nothing about anything, and he made these videos talking about how the Switch would be better than the PC, and I mean, he got up to like, if you want the best experience on a PC,
Oh yeah, that $10,000 thing.
yeah, you're gonna spending like $11,000, and the Switch will do all this stuff for $300, and it'll be more powerful than basically any PC, and it'll do all this stuff, and he just had no clue, absolutely no clue. He didn't know anything about what he was talking about, and I was like, oh my god, people actually believe this. Saying no ground in reality at all. Doesn't know anything, but that's what he believes. He firmly believes that a Switch is just going to be just the PC destroyer. I mean, why have a PC? The Switch is coming, right? And
Yeah.
I had somebody in a podcast today, and it was kind of confusing. I was in Titanfall's podcast, and Titanfall was actually asking what everybody in the podcast thought about PC gaming in the future, because she was saying that it's growing quite a bit. You know, it's becoming more and more like mainstream, to where it's like more of the actual articles are actually starting to cover it.
Yeah, just hardware sales. Sales of hardware for PCs in 2016 passed the $30 billion mark. Just the hardware. So it's pretty huge.
And it was kind of funny because this guy like went into like I don't know, this long explanation as to what he thought, and he was like, he doesn't think like PC gaming is going to like be overtaken or anything, but he said he feels that eventually that PCs are only going to be used just for gaming, but that the mobile is actually going to take over the actual PC portion. And I was like, what?
Yeah, that's dumb.
What? I was like, I mean, until they actually make a phone that's gigantic that you can't even put in your pocket, or you can't even walk around with.
Yeah, there's no way.
I was like, there's no way, because
no way.
I was like, could you imagine trying to, on your Samsung Galaxy S7, trying to draw up divorce papers?
I mean, you would have
like
to
custody papers and stuff like that, like trying to write on there and type, and like that would be.
I mean, when it comes to multimedia functionality, the PC just cannot be beat, and an argument can't even be made another way. But consoles have a place. But that place is becoming more and more niche based on how technology is advancing, based on tablets and smartphones. And remember from that Newzoo article, the handheld gaming market is 25% slower in growth than it was last year. Right? A year-by-year change of 25% negative. That is huge. And I mean, I think it's ridiculous. Obviously, what he said is ridiculous for a number of reasons. But I think people kind of live in their little bubbles, and they don't understand how huge the PC gaming market is.
Shack Attack said the mobile gaming is evolving, but it's not taking over. The thing is like the mobile gaming, as far as like which area actually makes more money, the mobile gaming actually makes more money than any division.
Yeah, there's smartphone apps. And those are cancer, but they're very popular.
Yeah, well, I mean, there was like some video that I watched of a game developer, like I guess trying to debunk some of these like cracked and crap like that, like what you did, but he's a game developer, and they showed a video, like they showed a statistic that in Europe alone, women there, not even the men that play it, but just the women that play Candy Crush, spent 400 million pounds in 1 year.
Damn!
Yes, that was one of the
Candy Crush
articles I found.
Just Candy Crush.
Just Candy Crush in the UK, 400. They spend 400,000 pounds a day. Women in the UK, 400,000 pounds a day on just Candy Crush.
That's crazy.
Just Candy Crush. Just that one.
So that is fucking intense.
I mean, if you're just going by money, then the mobile market will never be touched.
Yeah,
because it's so convenient.
Yeah, everyone's got games with them on a system that they already own anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's one of the things that I brought up earlier is we don't want the bad thing. We don't want the terrible things in mobile gaming to leach over into mainstream hardcore gaming.
No,
it kind of is in a way, but we don't want that.
It is to a point, but I mean, we've got to make sure that we stay vigilant to the fact of like, as long as we let them come over with their microtransactions for just like cosmetics, and not to the point to where there's actually like the pay to win type thing like that is inside the things. But we just got to make sure that we don't become complacent with the cosmetic portion to where whenever they introduce the actual pay to win, that we're just so used to it that we're like, oh, okay, no big deal. we'd have to make sure that we still stick to our guns and like fight back. Because at that point now, I can tell you right now. I mean, like I said, I buy every game, but I try my best. I mean, to buy most of my games new because that way it definitely supports the developer. But now on certain games, like ones that are definitely like the developers fucked everybody over or whatever, or if that ever is to happen, then that game would, if I was going to get it in my collection, it would definitely be a used one. So therefore, the developer saw no money whatsoever from me, because I would refuse to support any developer that would do a pay to win type scenario in our type of gaming. I understand it's perfect. It fits perfectly fine into the mobile market, but it does not fit in ours at all.
Right.
And plus, no, for the most part, everything's getting bigger. Console gaming's getting bigger. PC's getting bigger. It's all getting bigger. All right. So don't try. It bugs me when people say, "Oh yeah, but console is getting bigger." Something doesn't have to get bigger at the expense of something else.
No.
So
gaming is just growing
yeah,
in general.
It's just growing and growing and growing. So everything's getting bigger. So that's a thing people talk about, and that's dumb too.
Well,
But
and there's usually like if anybody wants to talk about it and anything getting bigger, and be at least accurate about it, trends, right? So Nintendo trends on a lot of things. Unfortunately, I don't know why, but they do. That you could talk about something like that. Why, just to say gaming is getting bigger in general is kind of stupid. It's a stupid statement. Especially when, like I said, you got trendsetters like Nintendo. We got some shitty business practices guys ahead of us that we have to be worried about once Nintendo launches their shit. So that's going to be interesting. Mac has tried to set some standards, and they sometimes do. Good thing a lot of them miss out, and we don't have to deal with any of that bullshit. I am worried. Every time Mac does something new and like it makes Microsoft or anybody like turn ahead, I'm like, oh god, what now? What is it?
like the emoji bar or whatever the fuck that is on the top of their new MacBook Pro.
It's fucking ridiculous.
I need to get a new MacBook. All I use my Mac for now is just browsing for the most part while in bed. And it's really good for browsing because the trackpad is I really like the trackpad and how it reacts and the things I can do with it.
How old's your Mac?
It was a graduation present from high school. So, assuming it was new at the time I got it, it's like 6-7 years old.
Damn.
So I'm probably gonna get a new one pretty soon. Upgrade so I can just do all that shit faster. Because I mean, if I could only have one, if I didn't have I have a desktop for everything else, but for just the purposes of browsing and doing little edits here and there to this and that, I'll just have a MacBook. It's fine.
Yeah.
In that circumstance, the positives outweigh the negatives of having. So because I don't play games on it or anything. So I'll just get myself another one because there's a bunch of used ones out there now, and I could get
it for a good budget.
5-year upgrade or whatever.
Yeah.
They're definitely good. I mean, they're definitely good computers for like what they're used for. But as far as like trying to compare them to an actual PC would be just kind of pointless.
Someone's asking if I'm gonna buy Resident Evil 7. I haven't actually looked up. I need to though because I'm interested in it. I still play Resident Evil 4. So
that's a great game.
That's good.
I want Resident Evil 7. I think I might buy it. I'm not sure. Like right by it. Like
you will.
No, I'm gonna eventually buy it. I mean, I might buy it next week. I'm not sure. I really want to like wait till I get my VR headset. Probably in February, so that way I can play it in VR, or just watch my kids play it in VR.
Let me see. With Resident Evil. Oh, also I didn't notice this. Now I'm someone who's played Resident Evil 4. I've probably beaten it start to finish, probably about a dozen times. I own it on 3 different systems. No, I own it on GameCube, Wii, Xbox 360, and PC. So I own the same game on 4 different systems. It's like that game for me. Mm-hmm. I love Resident Evil 4. And it is a game that is a timeless game. It will always be good.
Resident Evil 4?
Yes. An amazing game. If you have not bought Resident Evil 4, what's wrong with you?
I have 4 because I just bought
game, yeah.
I just bought the remaster or whatever on the PS4. I haven't ever played any Resident Evil games.
So good. It's still my favorite of the ones I've played. It's better than 6.
I guess.
Or it's better than 5. I haven't played 6. Hell no. Fuck off with that noise. 6 was okay if you have a friend, but alone it's a fucking wank stain of a game. But Resident Evil 4, amazing. But here's the thing. I've beaten that game so many times. I have so many, God knows how many hundreds of hours in that game. I never knew how the game adjusts the difficulty as you play it. No clue. Because apparently what Resident Evil 4 does is with your difficulty, right? As you play the game, if you're doing really well, it makes the game harder. If you're doing really bad, it softens the game up for you a bit. But it's all done in very subtle ways, such as how much damage you can kind of take from enemies, how many enemies can spawn in certain areas, and what kinds of enemies spawn, the availability of weapons and ammunition, and their chances to spawn for you. But it's really subtle, and they never said anything about it. They never said this was a feature in the game, so you never noticed it. But it's brilliant, because it allows you to have that sweet spot of the game's too easy to be engaging, but it's too hard to where it's frustrating. It keeps you in that graph, that alleyway there of how difficult it is to how hard it is. And I never knew it. And I watched this video about it. I did link it, but I watched this video about it and I'm like, holy shit, I never noticed it. I wonder how much this affected how much fun I had with it, because I never felt like anything was too hard, and I was constantly engaged throughout the whole thing. And maybe that's one of the reasons that the game has kept its viability for so long, and it's still so fun no matter how many times you play it, because it keeps the difficulty right where it needs to be.
Is it a scary one?
No, it's not scary. There are a couple creepy parts, but really, it's not scary.
Okay, so because I'm trying to find a game. I mean, because Outlast was just not it. I mean, Outlast isn't scary.
I still haven't. I'm not a big I'm not a big horror games guy. I'm kind of a pussy in that regard to a degree. But I loved Amnesia: The Dark Descent, right? And I still got to finish Soma. That's been fantastic. I still have to get through A Machine for Pigs. But Resident Evil 4 is not a scary game. Again, there's a couple creepy parts,
but nothing truly scary.
Yeah, it's
I'm
not.
trying to find a game that's actually a full on, like, all the way through, like, it is like you. I know you didn't play because you didn't have, or you didn't mess with your PS4 back then. But Brim and Shaner, did y'all download PT?
No.
Oh man, like I said, I've played Outlast. I never jumped once. I mean, in fact, I just got bored. It was like, shit, like this guy, it's just not fun.
The whole game basically looking for batteries. I mean,
basically that's what I felt like. I was like going, shit, man, I would have just stopped at Walmart before I came here. Like if I was like that low, that way I would. I mean, that way I would have had something. But it was just boring to me. So I mean, I didn't even finish it but it just wasn't scary. So then I tried. I forgot what else I tried. I can't think of the name of the other one. But then somebody told me about PT whenever they talked about it during E3 or what. So I download it, and I'm sitting there playing. Of course, it's like at the time I had my gaming system in my bedroom or whatever because of where we were living, and my wife was asleep, and I had my headphones on to where she couldn't hear the stuff, and I'm playing, and I mean this thing was basically one hallway. You just go down one hallway, turn right, and you go down another hallway. You keep going. You go to a door, and you keep doing this. I mean, over and over again. But during each time, like something happens in this hallway, like a phone rings or there's a baby crying, and you have to keep expecting it. And all this time, like I mean, you go through hour or whatever, and like nothing happens. Like nothing, no scary shit, nothing at all. And so I'm just like, but the music's there. I'm like really into it, trying to figure, because you have to like look real hard to try to figure out what it is that's going to get you to unlock that door to get back to the same hallway again to the next thing. And I swear to God, man, that thing, like all of a sudden something jumped out at me, and the controller went completely across the room. I screamed. I fell off my bed. I was like, what in the fuck just happened? Like I never been scared like that in my life on a game or a movie. And so whenever that game was canceled, I was like down. I was like, man, that I really wanted to see where that game was going, and I've been trying ever since then. I wasn't gonna play
it, but I wanted to see what other people reacted.
I want to see, like, from that point forward, like I've been looking for another game that I can play that is really going to scare the shit out of me, or at least give an opportunity to scare the shit out of me. Because I'm not like PewDiePie. I've seen him like basically anything that where something jumps, like he's scared to death. I'm not like that, but I loved how PT like got you really into the story, like really focused, and you forgot about the whole scary aspect of it, and then it scared the shit out of you. I kind of want. Do y'all know of a game that y'all can like suggest?
I heard
It's really scary.
I heard,
Yeah,
I heard
scary,
Five
like,
Nights has a lot of jump scares in it.
Then I would look up Amnesia: The Dark Descent, A Machine for Pigs, and I would look up maybe Soma, maybe the Penumbra games.
Pretty much any friction game will be good. I didn't
How
really.
was Until Dawn?
I haven't yet tried that.
Until Dawn's not scary. I platinumed it, but I mean it's a wonderful game. I mean I loved it. It was like basically like controlling a movie. I liked it. That was a lot of fun, but it wasn't scary by any means. Like, at least to me, it wasn't. I mean, it didn't really even have any jump scares that I can remember.
Yeah.
Well, for jump scares, there's quite a bit on PC.
There's a lot of jump scare games. There's a lot of horror games, like indie horror games.
So I mean, ones that's actually good to the point to where like you're not just waiting for the jump scare, because like if you know that that's all the game's about, your mind kind of prepares you.
Then get Amnesia: The Dark Descent.
Okay.
Five Nights at Freddy's made me jump out of my chair a couple of times. So
I just want to be able to like get into the story, like get into the game, and then get the shit scared out of me, because it's so much fun to get scared.
Yeah. What about like? I don't know, man. Like I would say Soma. I would say definitely get Soma. If not for the scariness, I would get it for the atmosphere. It's extremely atmosphere. Like holy shit. It's not so much as a jump scare as it is that the way they paint the picture for you to get immersed is what makes it scary. So if you like those kind of things where it's like really in depth in your surroundings and the detail of what each character does, you'll see certain characters kind of roaming the lands as you walk by, and if you're not careful, they can kill you. So like you actually have to be careful.
that's that game where you live stream basically the entire thing, huh?
Yeah,
It's a great looking game, Rambo.
it's beautiful, dude. It's a
Okay,
really
so
pretty game.
I have Soma on PS4. I mean, it was one of the PS Plus games, so I downloaded it, but I just have never played it. But you're saying that one's a good one for just
get that and the 2 Amnesia games.
okay.
Yeah.
I have those on PC. I think I just have never played them. I kind of thought when I looked at the picture of it or whatever, like, kind of going through it, it kind of looked like just one of those indie games that would just be kind of a cheap little horror thing, kind of like one of them, like the indie horror movies, like basically where it's kind of cheesy.
Mm-hmm.
But apparently you're saying it's not, so I'll try it out and see, because
it's really good.
I love being scared.
I don't really get scared. That's kind of a hard thing for me, but I did jump at like one thing in that game, and that was only because the game fucking glitched up and the monster fucking like teleported behind me. Like it was silent. It was silent, right? And I was like, yeah, okay, I know where he's at. And then fucking boom, out of nowhere, fucking came up my ass. I was like, oh my god, like that actually kind of scared me. But like I'm really hard to scare unless shit like that happens.
Yeah, see, like me too. Like that's the reason why I like that PT did, because it went for so long without ever doing anything scary, and then like as you're doing something normal, like you've been doing all this for this past hour, then it scared the shit out of you, like just without any warning, and it was just, damn.
Yeah. Other than the whole jump scare thing, I mean, because that can get everyone here and there. The only other things that scare me when it comes to like games and movies is the demonic thing. But the mass murder, the slasher flicks, that's all great. I mean, I love that kind of stuff. But the whole demonic thing, I'm not really into that.
Oh, I love demonic shit. I love like evil fucking.
Oh yeah, the
games,
possessions
like
and
Doom
shit like that.
stuff.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
A lot of really good SCP reads if you're looking for creepy stuff. A lot of really good SCP reads.
Yeah.
I would say, Black Bond, he tweeted this out not too long ago. He said, let me look up here. This is fantastic. 1 second. Here we go. He was talking to Dr. Trey 81 on YouTube, and Black Bond said, okay, Dr. Trey apparently doesn't think that resolution has anything to do with performance.
Huh?
Dr. 81 is famous for these retarded quotes. He has
Okay,
been
but
for
wait,
quite
no, wait a
some
minute,
time.
because Doc Trey shared something on. I was just about to actually go look for that right now, but Doc Trey shared something on Twitter. It showed Black Bond leaving the comment saying, "What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Resolution for it? We're talking performance and what we're like frame rate and like that, like almost like resolution has nothing to do with performance." And I'm like thinking, yeah, it does, but. I'm gonna look for that while you say that.
Yeah,
I'm gonna look
well,
for
it's
that.
in
So
the
that way
chat. The tweet's in the chat. I just put it in the chat.
okay.
And it's, I mean, I guess some people think that. These people aren't a joke. I mean, some people actually think that.
Okay, here's what. Okay, so Black Bond like replied back in the comment section of his video. It says, "What the fuck does resolution have to do with performance?" Question mark. He says, "Performance is frame rate, and all versions of Titanfall 1 and 2 run at 60 frames per second."
Wait.
Yeah, but Black Bond obviously knows that resolution has something to do with you.
I would hope, yeah. That's what
Yeah.
whenever I saw that, I was like, "What the? Like, how are you not? How do you not know? You play on fucking PC. Like your frame rates drop whenever you raise your resolution. So I mean, if your PC can't handle it, obviously, but
It is awkward.
it was just kind of like, what the hell are you? Like, it was.
Hold on.
Them two like try to. Well, definitely Doc Trey likes to post up things like that in order to like try to skew the conversation to make it look like what's it called? To make it look like he's that Black Bond's the one actually saying this. And whenever he might have actually been saying that in towards like what I'm guessing Doc Trey actually said something in his video saying that frame or resolution has nothing to do with frame rate or performance. And then that was his reaction, his response to it. It was like, what he was basically asking the question kind of like what Doc Trey did. So, and then Doc Trey, of course, tried to skew it to make it look like Black Bond didn't know what he's talking about. But yeah, Doc Trey, like you can, like he's now with him. Whenever I said like you can't like get upset with people for buying the Switch, like you can get upset with Doc Trey because Doc Trey does like he's like a big fucking idiot. And I'm not sure. I at this point, like however many years that he's been doing this.
Oh man, he's been a retard for so long. Notice I said retard.
Yeah, I don't
retard.
really think that he's trolling at this point or just some sort of like personality type thing on YouTube. I think this is literally him. And he literally loves Nintendo this much, but I mean, he's just stupid. Like he has like no clue what the hell he talks about. And he was the other day, like I guess Black Bond caught him like talking about the SNES on his video, like how great it was and all this stuff like that. And he's never even owned an SNES. Like, how the fuck are you going to tell me all about the SNES when you didn't even own it?
Actually, one of Rags's favorite YouTubers, Next Gen 720, used to go
great.
back and forth with Doc Trey 81 quite a bit. Brimstone may remember those videos.
Oh God, cancer. You're talking about cancer, right? Cancer
watched-
and AIDS. That's what that was.
I've watched some of those, what's it called? Those debates. And it's kind of like, it was kind of like the two retarded people in a plastic bag trying to get out.
Well, yeah, I mean, the basis of the whole debate thing that they did for like months was Doc Trey 81 says you can have that seat. Well, after hearing that, Next Gen immediately goes to, well, he's gay. He wants to sit on my dick. I mean, so that was like the basis of their 6-month-long video back and forth deal.
Wow.
There's a lot of people whose dicks upon which I'd like to sit, and they are not amongst their number.
I would hope not. I mean, I would be kind of scared, like on a a note that like possibly that could cause like some sort of like irreversible damage to me. You know, if he was to do that, or if I was to do that or whatever. Oh, did you hear about Sony and Microsoft like having some problems?
Oh boy, really?
Yes.
They actually
back alley
finally
shank you
they're actually
type
having
problems?
issues with each other, or what?
No.
Oh,
To the
damn.
point of Microsoft is laying next week is laying off 700 people. I guess this is Satya Nadella. I mean, this is they're saying it's not really that big of a deal, and they're not actually firing people because of money. They said they're firing people to get more educated people in that field, more trained people.
So why don't
I'm
they
like,
just train him then?
I know that's what I'm like going. Like, why didn't you just train
Fucking
the fucking
retards.
people? Like, why would you fire them? Like,
They're
you've been there.
fucking
Like, yeah, we
idiots,
hired
dude.
you. But they're firing him, and apparently in 2014, Satya not whatever I can never say his name. But he fired or laid off 14,000 people. To streamline his business, to streamline Microsoft, and that was throughout all the divisions. And so I'm wondering if like just more. I mean, you're seeing this more and more, and it's beginning to make me wonder like if like the Scorpio was kind of like the end of the budget for Xbox right now, maybe this year, and that's maybe the reason why we're not seeing a lot of news from them as far as like new games, because like before we would see new games coming from them, or some sort of word from them about like something that we could look forward to or whatever. Now they're kind of like, oh, we've got great games coming, great things coming ahead. Just it's almost kind of like sometimes when Donald Trump talks, it's like whenever he's like says, oh,
We're gonna have the best, people. We're gonna have the best.
Gonna have the best. Just trust me, the best. You're gonna see lots of things happening next week. Lots of things. I'm not gonna tell you a single thing what they are, but you're gonna see them. And that's kind of like what Microsoft's doing now. Is like great games are coming, great games are coming, great announcements, big surprises, and nothing.
So, Dr. Trey
And
said the Pro controller for the Switch is $5 more than the white DS4 controller at Best Buy and has more tech inside.
No, it don't.
What?
See, he will ramble on about this stupid shit, Rags, for many, many, many more months to come. I mean,
he'll ramble on with you on Twitter for many more months to come too, because I made the mistake of trying to tweet him over something stupid he said, and I got like it was like my one tweet to his 12, my one to his 12, my one to his.
Bro.
I was like, okay, I just got to quit replying. I got together.
This guy is so out there with his damage control. At one point, Brim may even remember this. People questioned whether or not he worked for Nintendo.
He actually makes Microsoft look honest. Like no damage control at all. Like they just come out and tell you like, oh, look, we lost. Here's numbers like that. He makes them look that honest. To the point, because I mean, I've never seen somebody damage control harder than he does.
Oh boy.
You need
like
to make a Doc Trey video, Rags.
I almost guarantee like your video, like you'd probably end up getting a headache or something like that.
I was looking at his Twitter feed a while ago and it was pretty.
Yeah, it's
boy.
yeah, it makes you just wonder like should I even like reply? I mean, because like at what point like do you realize that no matter what you say, you're never gonna get through? And Black Bond has fun with him like quite a bit.
It's hard not to.
But did you like he played Uncharted and played it on like some part that you don't even.
I heard all about that.
Oh man,
the
it was
hardest difficulty, and it just took him for. Oh yeah,
yeah to the
heard all
point to where
about
he turned it off. He ended up turning it off of the stream, and then he said he beat it. Came back,
Yeah, he
then
turned off the stream because of an apparent internet problem.
Yeah.
And then when it turned back on, apparently he had beaten the mission.
And then then people were calling bullshit, so he went back to prove them wrong. Like he was gonna go back. I'll show you. I'm gonna do it again. And then he couldn't do it. Like he was stuck for another 2 or 3 more hours, and he finally just turned the damn stream off and never has gone back.
That's funny.
Yeah,
I mean, so many up and coming corporate slaves this year. It's gonna be amazing. I really need to get with Black Bond, and we really need to make this a big deal. We need to have like maybe monthly reports or something, because there's so many people out there that are just fantastic. They're not all really big, But with Mooch apparently out of the picture for
It's
the time
opened up
being,
doors. Yeah.
it has opened up many doors. I mean, it's a very mobile society. This fanboyness. So
But now
I'm looking
like
at Livewire's gamers tweets right now.
Dog
It's
Trey though,
fantastic.
Dog Trey though, like right now, would be like one of your top contestants because it's
Oh,
like
yeah.
leading up into the Switch coming out, he's going to be on full damage control. Oh shit, I can't think what.
And
Oh
he'll
yeah. Oh,
get
and
one,
Sony.
man. That dude will
Sony.
sell his couch to get a Switch. You don't even know.
The head or whoever runs the Sony motion pictures.
Oh,
That
my.
guy has actually, like, I guess, made it known that he is leaving the company. And whatever his name, that CEO Kaz Hirai or whatever, the of Sony, like Sony's full fledged, like the main guy, has said that, like, has said in the past that he has no plans on selling Sony pictures. And
Didn't
since
they
he's
sell
known
Spider-Man though?
I don't know. I mean, because he's known about this guy leaving the Sony, like the head of Sony's pictures leaving. He's known about this for quite a while, and like no, he's never made any mention or even any type of word of anybody taking over his spot. And so that they're speculating that there's the big chance that Sony is going to sell Sony Motion Pictures, which that means that they would have to sell the movie rights to Spider-Man. More than likely, probably sell it back to. I'm sure there's a clause to where Marvel gets it back completely, or Disney. But I'm thinking that, well, they said that their speculation was that there's a movie called Emojis or whatever coming out in the
Oh,
summer,
Oh,
God.
Patrick Stewart voices the shit.
and they're thinking that they might have a sequel on their hands, like, or a franchise on their hands, like, because I mean the emoji things are like really huge right now. Like my wife gets in, like their store gets in the emoji pillows, and before, like, as they're putting them out on the shelf, they disappear. Like they
Yeah,
don't
no,
even.
my daughter likes the shit emoji, and like when she gets like, you know, the pillows or the slippers or whatever, I'm like, I actually paid for you to wear shit on your feet. I mean, I just don't get
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, I don't either. But so I mean, maybe somebody's got to maybe with them having this emoji movie, maybe they do have some sort of like hidden gem, like as far as being able to help save that business. But they said that they'll never sell off the Sony Music because Music and PlayStation are just making them money like kind of a hand over fist. That the other divisions in their business are what's actually where they're bleeding, like kind of bleeding money in areas, and Sony Motion Pictures is a big portion of that. So, what do you think about, like, do you think that they should sell off Sony Motion Pictures?
I think they're going to, because they remember when at the beginning of the generation when the PS4 launched, they're like, "Oh yeah, everything's doing good, we're making money, everything's fine," and it was like, "Oh hey, we're selling this shit off. Yeah, we're selling this part off. Oh, we're letting go of these people." So I think it's just a big old PR stunt. I think something big is going to happen later down the line. We just don't know what yet.
Well, see, I'm to the impression like that I think that if it's going to make Sony more viable as far as like more like in the black, then why not? You know, I mean, why hold on to a business?
As long as they're not breaking rules or doing some
Oh, yeah,
lying to
obviously.
consumers, then
Yeah,
yeah,
obviously.
make all the money you want.
But I mean,
I don't think
as
anyone will
far
care
as like,
long as they don't touch PlayStation.
no, I mean, no, they'll never touch PlayStation. PlayStation and that's what that report said is PlayStation and Sony Music is basically like printing money for them. So they're never going to get rid of those because that would be kind of foolish at that point. But like they closed down a big portion of their businesses, like what you were talking about during the launch time, whenever they came out and they were talking about how great they were, and but that was because they were, I guess during the time they were doing great, but they weren't telling you the whole story about all the restructuring, and they closed down a whole bunch of areas, and they left Sony Pictures at the time because that back then it was rumored that Sony Pictures was going, and they kept it, and I thought, okay, well maybe they know something that we don't, but there's actually like Bad Boys 3. I guess supposed to be coming out 2018, 2019. Like they've already got the contract signed, and I guess they're going to start working later this year. So I mean, I mean, when they sell it, would they like? I mean, would you assume that they would sell it to like say like Warner Brothers or whatever, or just sell the movie rights that they have to certain studios, like sell kind of like an auction sale for the movie rights? Like how do you sell a movie production?
Right.
Live Wires just tweeted a while ago, 3 hours ago.
Oh.
Look, whether it's fake 4K or not, if no one complains, Sony can say 4K native and try to make that money. It's okay.
God, it's not.
He's literally saying it doesn't matter if marketing is a lie or not.
But marketing, I mean, Sony's not like lying during the marketing, because what Sony's not saying like when the game comes on, Sony's not saying like the game is running in 4K or whatever. Like I've yet to see an actual commercial with that actually shows like them referring to that, to the point to where like when Microsoft did I mean they had to end up pulling the ad, I guess, because people were complaining. But there was the Xbox One S, like it can't do 4K at all, like gaming at all. It can only do the 4K UHD and the streaming with Netflix. But they had like a guy and a grandma playing Madden 16, and they were yelling back and forth, because she's like, "Huh, son," or whatever, and he's yelling to her, and she's like something like, "Why is it so clear?" And he's like, "Because it's in 4K." And like, because it can do 4K, mom, or whatever like that. And like that basically was misleading everybody, thinking that, because the only thing that was actually playing on that console was Madden, and it wasn't in 4K. But I've never seen like that type of ad from Sony on. I've seen them just like advertise the PlayStation 4 saying it can do 4K. Or it's the only 4K console on the market, which it is. Because, but I mean it's always been like the PlayStation 4 by itself, not like playing a game, like to be able to advertise like which game was doing the 4K.
He said no Xbox, because he doesn't use punctuation or anything, so it's tough to know.
It's kind of hard to read his tweet.
He said no, Xbox games have always gone to PC since the OG Xbox, then with the 360, and now the Xbox One.
No, they haven't. Like
I mean, that's just demonstrably false, isn't it?
Well, yeah, because they did in the very beginning, and then like Don Matrix said, "Hell no, we got to save something for the Xbox," and they pulled it like after Gears 1, and they never went. Their first party games never went back.
Oh boy!
Until Phil Spencer got into the thing.
Woo!
If that was the case, then I mean, you would actually. I mean, if that was the case, then Halo 5 and Halo Master Chief Collection would be on PC right now.
Yeah, exactly. Halo 3. Yeah,
and it would be beautiful.
It would be amazing.
It would, yeah. But I mean
frame rates. I mean, good resolution support. Even if it was the same graphics, you could look at it and be like, "Oh, it's an old classic game." Don't change the graphics.
Oh,
and
speaking
hey,
of
you
this,
wouldn't have to pay to play it online, right, Rags?
Know, right?
Am I right?
Speaking of this, I actually had a conversation today with our good friend JTech TV.
Nah.
Oh, you spoke with him.
Yes, I
Really?
did. Not with voices, but with words, like on Twitter.
Okay.
Oh,
I was about to
okay.
say.
But I still spoke. Hey, I still was able to speak with him.
Great White Buffalo.
And I didn't get blocked. Because he tweeted out Persona 5 and talking about like hashtag PlayStation exclusive, hashtag, all these different hashtags.
Yeah.
And he was showing a picture of, I guess, people on PC asking, like, starting a petition to get Persona 5 over to PC.
Yeah, they'd like to have it on PC. Yeah.
And so I replied back to him.
Everyone does that.
Going like, I don't see a problem with this. I said, you do realize that they're just asking. I was like, you can't. Nothing really hurts to ask, and see what happens. And so I was fully expecting to be blocked.
Yeah.
I mean that. And he replied back going,
everyone else.
he's like, but why are they asking just for 5? Like, and it was like, well, because that's what's coming out.
Can you
He's like,
emulate
well,
everything else?
he said, but Persona 1, 2, 3, and 4 are only on PlayStation. And I was like, yeah. I was like, well, the reason why they didn't ask for it back then is because the internet wasn't as prevalent back then, and they didn't have a petition website to where you could do it. I said, so that's the reason why they're asking for 5, because that's the only one actually being made and distributed right now. It's not like they can ask for 1 through 4 to like magically appear. And he was like, well, yeah, maybe. And I was like, what? Because like
You
he didn't.
spoke to me?
Yeah, but he didn't like automatically go. I like the report beggars, and like he actually had a conversation about it. But then, like, if you have that conversation with him,
Everyone he blocks like
it's
everyone
a
who
port.
follows
Yeah,
me.
it's a
I'm,
port
I'm
beggar.
shocked he hadn't blocked you from the beginning.
He did. Well, I was blocked before I ever met you. Like I left a comment on one of his videos a long time ago, and I've been blocked ever since.
Yeah.
And then of course we started doing this, and I were blocked by him, and that's we had our little conversation. Then like it was someday, I probably like about a month ago, I was just sitting there, and I got a little notification on Twitter, and I went to it. It was like JTech TV is following you, and I was like, what? So I had to go to his making sure it was actually him and some troll account, and sure enough, I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So I followed him back, so that way, in case like he was like doing some sort of video or whatever, it would pop up in my timeline to where like if it was some sort of reason like he wanted to spy on me. So I still have no idea why he followed me, like why he unblocked me and followed me, because he's never said anything besides hi, and that was it.
I mean, because he apparently spread the lie that we had a debate and I got crushed about a 32M blaster card.
What is that?
He's just let us thinking he's literally telling people that we had a debate and I lost. Well, I've never spoken with JTech TV. I've never talked with this kid ever, not once. I've never spoken with him. We've never had a debate about anything. The only thing he does is he tweets me pictures of some petition where people are asking for a certain game on PC or something, because PlayStation gamers never ask for game. But he's just telling people that apparently we had a debate and I lost
About a 32M blaster, like a graphics blaster.
Yeah, no, like the graphics card of like I don't know. I've never heard of it before. A 32.
Because I just put it in.
Blaster card. I don't know exactly.
It's not even part of the PS4.
I don't know what it is.
Can I get just a minute for one of the chatters?
Yeah.
He wants me to say nibbers. I don't know why, but nibbers.
Nibbers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Rags, do you talk and do things sometimes with pants and sometimes without? Absolutely.
With pants and what?
Oh, they're talking about the description of our podcast. That is absolutely correct and accurate.
I haven't even paid attention to the damn description of the.
Let me see. Livewire said.
What did
it say here?
Livewire is. He's a special.
Scorpio has the Windows 10 assets available to it. It also might get the insane asset features from Windows 10. I don't know what that means.
So wait a minute. It has the asset features, but then it might also get
it has the Windows 10 assets available to it, but it also might get the insane asset features from Windows 10.
Whoa!
The hell
I was
is
just doing a fatty vape? No, I'm kidding.
like what the hell is the insane? What the?
I know he doesn't specify. He also says, "Well, I don't rent shit on Xbox because we have free movie apps." But I mean, he's bragging that he has a free movie. Everything has a free movie app. It's a standard on everything. A phone has a movie app. But digital HD never looks as good as physical.
Huh?
Let us continue. It's
Well, I mean,
a treasure trove.
I would suggest he check his internet connection.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I don't see what the difference.
If you have a strong enough connection, it shouldn't look any different.
Yeah. Let me see. PS4 exclusives that are good are great, but that's like 5 games maybe. I will rock with better multiplats. So I asked him what advantages an Xbox offers over the PlayStation 4 or the PC in terms of multiplats. I await his response with bated breath. Because I cannot think of any.
You get 4 free games a month with Xbox, right, Rex?
Yeah, they're free.
They are.
I
mean, depending on which way you go about looking at it and stuff, but I mean.
Well, from an honest, we're looking at it from an honest perspective.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, then,
Yeah.
I was kind of looking at it from, if we subtract this and we look at that, then it might be free.
Honest yet. Okay. When I said you're literally saying it doesn't matter if marketing is a lie or not, blah, blah, blah. He said, honest, yes, but if no one is going to hold Sony to that, what is the point?
Okay.
That
I'm right
literally
back,
means
yes.
that if another company lies about it or misleads people about it, that means it's okay for the company too. Okay, that's healthy.
But the point, like, I try to figure out like how Sony's lying about it. Because, like I said, I mean, it's they're not lying or misleading if they say if they just show the PlayStation 4 Pro as a commercial and say it's the only 4K console out there. Because as it is, it's the only 4K console out there. It doesn't say the only doing 4K all the time. I mean, it can do 4K. It's just not every single game. So I mean,
But
I don't know.
but he says here, dude, everyone knows that PS4 Pro only does fake 4K.
Oh, the checker. He's talking
What
about the
is fake
but
4K?
I guess it's
checker
like
the checkerboard
upscale
4K.
checkerboarding stuff.
The thing is, though, is that like, I mean, if Sony was the only one basically saying that every one of these games were native 4K, or these games that were native 4K, if they were the only ones saying that they were, I could see maybe where you could be skeptical. But you actually have 2K that came out and said their game is running native 4K, 60 frames per second on PlayStation 4 Pro. You had Bethesda come out.
It's
I
amazing. It's a fact without the better multiplats, PS4 is worthless to most gamers. That's why you're losing by 25 million or so, right?
But not if you subtract the rest of the world.
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
I
Well,
mean, if you,
in the US, isn't the PS4 still outselling the
I think so.
Xbox?
I
think
don't
it
know.
is. There's just
I'd
been
have to,
there's been like 4 or 5 months where the PS4 is lost.
yeah.
Let me see. When Xbox Scorpio drops, PS4 will be a completely worthless console. People that got PS4 for a few 1080p games will trade it in for true 4K console.
That's okay. Here's what I keep trying to like have this conversation because this is what actually starts a whole lot of Twitter wars with me is because people say that stupid shit. And I'm like going, let me ask you this: if that's all you cared about were multiplats, but you spent 4 years on a console buying digital games or even physical, but if you spent 4 years buying games that you wanted, are you just going to trade all that in? I mean, especially if they're digital because you don't get any money for it at that point. So you're just going to get rid of all that money you spent
Not
on your
yet, but
digital.
one day I promise you, you will.
Yeah. Scorpio drops, all those PS4 players are going to sell their PlayStation 4 and their entire library. They're going to abandon all the exclusives the PS4 actually has. And
So they can get a game in.
No, one day you will be able to get some kind of money back
Oh,
for
yeah.
your digital purchases.
Yeah,
Well,
it's
yeah, but
only
I
a matter
mean-
of time.
But I mean, as of right now, you're not. But I mean, that they're acting
do it
like these
with-
people.
GOG, can't you?
They're acting like these people that are on PlayStation 4 that didn't really go there for the exclusives. They went there for the better, multiplats. That they're just going to hop ship, after 4 years of purchasing games, and just go over to Xbox. And I was like, it's not going to happen
Yeah,
because
there's obviously more to it than that. I mean,
that's a lot. There's a lot of money behind that.
If the only thing you cared about was the quality of multiplats, you'd be on PC.
Yeah,
That was the
true.
only thing that mattered. There's no advantage that a console offers. I mean,
Yeah, 'cause I mean-
what does Xbox do? That's what I'm waiting for him to tell me because I asked him what advantage does the Xbox have over the PlayStation 4 or the PC in terms of multiplats. So I want to
Xbox
see.
Master Race.
I want to see what the answer is because I honestly don't see it.
The
Maybe there's
the only thing that he could possibly even say possibly would be Madden, but I mean that's like one multiplat, like like
What's better about Madden on Xbox than on PS4?
well I think with Madden you get
Controller.
I think they might actually get I think they might actually have some sort of partial marketing deal with Madden because I see bundles like the Madden theme bundles with Xbox every year.
Mhm.
And I don't see it with PlayStation 4. So, and that's a big selling title. So, I'm thinking that might be the only benefit that I can possibly think of. But I mean, if he uses that
Yeah.
one game,
That would be like, and that would actually hurt him to say, kind of.
well, yeah. I mean, I'm going to spend $800 or $600 so I can play one game.
That has a very slightly almost pointless advantage over the other things. Yeah.
But and that's another thing is that even if after the Scorpio comes out, and say okay, every game's 4K 60 frames per second, we're just going to say that it is. you're not going to get. First of all, you're not going to get people to leave their library, and even if you did, then you've got to like even combat the fact that PlayStation 4 still gets all the third-party exclusive content.
Someone said,
So-
someone said, what does Xbox offer over PS4 and PC? Someone said Xbox Live players give the best encouragement.
What the fuck? Oh Jesus.
I mean, because like you're like Red Dead Redemption, like even if you could play Red Dead Redemption 2 at 4K 60 frames per second on the Xbox Scorpio later this year, are you going to walk away from the fact that
Hey, a game that takes place in the desert might actually be able to run on the Xbox Scorpio 4K 60 FPS.
Yeah, but I'm saying, are you going to walk away from like if you're a
She
console
said it-
player, obviously, but are you going to walk away from the PlayStation 4 side of it where you're actually getting extra content?
Yeah, I don't see that happening.
I mean, because to me, I would much rather have extra content than I would better, like just prettier visuals.
Yeah, I mean it's now if we're talking a console that did, I mean if they came out again, and this is all, what if I mean if they just came out and they said all games are 1080p 60 FPS, then I was like, okay, well, that's all games. So, and it's not like you have to get rid of one to get the other too.
No, well, no, but I
Yeah.
mean,
This is all
but-
assuming that people are just gonna throw it all away.
but like you have like Tim Dog really, because he's comparing like I guess somehow, now mind you, like Sony like did their numbers like in front of their investors and stuff, but they didn't, they failed to mention like how much the PlayStation 4 Pro sold. And then Windows Central somehow got the numbers for December for the PlayStation 4 Pro, and it's like 238,000 consoles in December. And they're like saying that's terrible. Oh my gosh, that's a bomb. It's like I was like, no, it was never meant to. Like nobody, like most people, when they go into a store and they see a PlayStation 4 Slim for $299, or actually during that time was like $249, and a PlayStation 4 Pro that's $399, and they're all basically playing the exact same games, just one's a prettier version and one's not. Chances, I mean, most people are going to go for that, the cheaper one. And we were basically trying to tell them that that's going to happen with the Scorpio too. It's not like the Scorpio is not going to, at like 12 million ain't going to go out there and buy the Scorpio. The Scorpio is going to be for the few select people that really care about that situation but still want to play on console. These people think that the Scorpio is like going to be some sort of lifesaver, and we're talking like it's going to sell millions and millions and millions, and I'm like, it's just not going to happen. I mean,
How do
I
you
guess
know
Tim
this,
Dog
sir?
will like buy 6 or 7 of them himself, but
Yeah, but you do the same, so yeah.
Yeah.
How
well,
many
yeah,
will
but I mean,
you
I
buy?
have reason.
No!
I actually have more than one player in my damn house. He only
How do
has
you know
him
he doesn't? How do you
because
know
he said.
Do you really listen to him though? I mean, it's
Could
Tim
be
Dog.
Well, you can only go by what he says. I mean, he's saying they were for him. It just kind of, to me, like if you were personally funding, Xbox at that point, whenever you're buying consoles that you absolutely just don't really.
But maybe he likes to have an Xbox for his shitter, and his
Like,
bathtub.
I guess in every room.
In the shitter.
So what does he like? Shit, buy like the same game everywhere. So he kind of just play like that way he can. I don't know. He'd mirror it from one, stream it from one to the other, and
Maybe.
pick up where he left off.
Maybe he likes to go take a shit and play the Xbox. Who knows? Maybe he likes to take a shower, and then fucking
play the Xbox.
play the Xbox. Yeah. I mean, people are weird. People do weird shit.
Yeah, when I worked at the cable company, I've installed a few cable lines like right in front of their shitters or in their showers,
Oh, see, there you go.
and I'm thinking to myself, going like,
That's a good idea, right?
Well, no, it's not.
Here
Like
it is.
I
I found the tweet.
I've never sat on the toilet long enough to watch a TV show.
JTech TV said, I debated you about the 32M Blaster graphics card in
There's
the
not one in there.
hashtag PS4 Pro and you lost. Please, bro, subscribe to my arm and buy a hashtag PS4 Slim.
32M Blaster
32M Blaster graphics card.
graphics card PS4 Pro. I'm trying my best to figure out because there's nothing popping up
Nothing's
saying
popping
that.
up. I don't know what this is. It talks about 32 megabyte other cards.
Yeah,
PS4 Pro, GPU. Okay, PlayStation 4. No, that's the 4. A PS4. Let me see. Let me see.
Because what he's saying makes no sense at all.
The only thing
Like-
that I know that deals with Blaster is Sega.
Yeah, I
Or,
mean that like the blaster technology
Sound
hasn't been
Blaster.
around. Yeah, Sound Blaster obviously, but as far as graphics, like any kind of like that, that hasn't been around for quite some time.
It says here from GameSpot that because someone took a PS4 Pro and they put the same specs in a PC. So I haven't looked at the test though. I'm sure it'll be a shocker. But let me see. The Sony PlayStation 4 Pro. The GPU it says is just AMD Radeon Polaris GPU.
Yeah, it's not a 32M whatever. It's
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't I'm on a Wikipedia page now. Alt F, Control F, Polaris. I don't.
It doesn't even make
like-
sense.
In as a comparison on the PC, they put the AMD Radeon Polaris GPU parentheses RX 480.
Yeah, because it averages about to be a 480, the GPU, but that's the reason why I don't understand. Like they wouldn't be using blaster technology. Like he's making the PlayStation 4 Pro look like it's a lot older than what it is.
Interesting.
These Japanese models, or not models, but Japanese visual novels or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
They're easy platinums, but damn, they're kind of boring.
I debated you about that. I like that point where you have to just literally make shit up. I mean, you're just making shit up. You're just flat out lying. I debated you about the 32M Blaster graphics card and the PS4 Pro. You lost, bro. Please subscribe. What a pathetic little man. That must be
And I figured out what
sad.
this Saner means.
He blocked Oppabend, and he was like, "Who is this person, and why am I blocked?" Because you're following me on Twitter.
The Saner thing. I like they keep always saying Saner or whatever.
What
it's
is
just
that?
it's
I
some
heard that.
it's just some like gibberish that they all came up with or whatever. They were joking around one night, like their crew or whatever, and they just kept saying that, and that just became a thing. So now they're acting like it is a thing by calling people that, but it's really nothing.
Oh, okay. The Urban Dictionary is the Saner, the act of unleashing a 50 caliber sized ejaculation on a woman's chest, neck, or face.
Ah.
All right.
All right.
Let's go to Saner Wikipedia. It refers to either a main belt asteroid 38203 Saner, or Felix J. Saner, who is a New York politician who died in 1946, or Jan Tore Saner, who was a Norwegian politician. There is nothing else. So this is indeed a I don't know. I don't know if that's a word. Unless you're talking about asteroids or dead politicians. In the 40s. But I guess John Kill did make a video about, let's see, John Kill 3D.
Doesn't he make like 18 videos on you or some shit?
Something like that. Yeah,
yeah.
Fringy the Saner Green PC elitist.
Oh, I guess that was after the debate.
He got up to 2 likes. Awesome. 86 dislikes.
Oh, that was another thing that Dreyer Schmidt like said something stupid or whatever and did a stupid article, and somebody like
Shocker.
commented on it or tweeted him, and his tweet said, he replied back saying, well, it must be right because they got 3 million views. And
Well,
so
no, actually, that's
he
an appeal to
equated the,
popularity fallacy.
yeah, he equated the that popularity meant right. So I was thinking, I replied back to him. I was like, so why are you trying to fight so hard saying that Microsoft or that Xbox is the best, considering the fact that, I mean, apparently the PlayStation 4 is the best since it sold the most.
Exactly.
I was like,
So
that you're kind of
what do
like,
sales really mean, though?
No, I mean, there's a reason that things sell better, and there's a reason that things are popular, and that's worth looking into sometimes. But it doesn't mean it's necessarily
yeah, they're
right.
not, yeah, they're
They're
not
like
one.
Metacritic reviews. I mean, it is what it is.
It was funny. It was cracking me up because I mean, like he equated like somehow a big number meant that he was right. So therefore, that would mean the bigger number on PlayStation 4 it meant that that was the right console to have or whatever. But it just like he can't seem to see, like they're so lost in the sauce that they can't figure out, like, whenever they're just completely backwards in the way they're saying, like they paint themselves in a corner. Oh yeah, speaking of Metacritic, somebody tweeted out from the PlayStation side today talking about Yakuza Zero is receiving like a 80. I guess they said PlayStation 4 has two exclusives out already, and both of them have scored 80 or better in a Metacritic, and Xbox doesn't have anything. I was like, it's like, so somebody replied back and said, I don't really care. Like, I guess with Xbox guy, and he was like saying the guy was salty. He's like, Metacritic doesn't, affect my purchase. It's either I like the game or I don't. And so
Exactly.
he was like, this guy's salty that Xbox PlayStation has the two games 80. But I said, I understand like what you're trying to say, but I was like, I gotta agree with the guy. It's like I have never once looked at a review before I bought a game.
Reviews haven't. They've never affected my enjoyment of a game, but they've affected obviously whether or not I purchased a game.
They've never affected anything because I've never looked at them until like after the fact, or I'm somebody's directed me to it after the fact. Like I've never looked at a review before I purchased a game.
Yeah, that's weird.
To me, those are I mean, they're opinions.
Yeah, but they can have opinions, but they can also have facts.
And they can also
Well,
have,
yeah.
they can
Like
be
this
right
review, this
opinions.
game does not have this feature. This game does
Right.
not do this. This game has this. This game has this in it.
Right.
So you get
I mean,
information, before you.
I get that, but I just never, I've never looked at a review for anything. I'm just like, if I wanted it, I just bought it. That's just the way.
I usually look at gameplay and take that more seriously than I do a review.
Yeah, you can look at gameplay, but really, I mean, that's just a different kind of you reviewing something.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's like whether or not I want it or not doesn't mean that it is necessarily going to be good or that I'll be glad I bought it.
No, I'll never say that. I'm just saying, but I've just never. To me, like if I want it, I just get it. Like that's just the way.
Yeah.
6 times over, right?
If I can, yeah.
Well, he buys a copy. He buys his own review copies. You see, as his so the first copy is his review copy. That determines how many more he'll buy. So like a 6 out of 10 for him, that means he buys 6 copies.
Oh, you would have actually loved being around me a while back because I tried this whole collection thing before and I ended up selling the collection because I had it digital as well. But I have blocked myself from buying digital this time. But I used to have them at one point to where I would buy the game digital, and then I would buy the physical version, but I would leave it all sealed because my goal was to have like a complete sealed collection. But whenever I turned around and sold that collection, I had to sit there and open up like 100+ games before I could sell it because I wouldn't take it back after they were open or if they weren't open. But I've quit buying digital now, so just everybody knows that I'm just buying the physical version, just one time. That's it. I promise. It was kind of funny though when I went to GameStop the other day. I just bought the Metal Gear Solid 5. And I was missing the Ground Zeroes physical copy and the Phantom Pain physical copy. And they also have like a complete edition or whatever it's called that has Metal Gear Solid 5, Ground Zeroes, and Phantom Pain in it. on one disc. And so I went up. I've actually found all 3 of those in one GameStop. So I was like, okay, well, I'll buy all 3 of them and I'll just get it all taken care of at one time. And so I went up there and he's like, okay. And he's like pulling it out and he's like in the M's or whatever. He's like looking through it, like pulling out one. He pulled out another. He's like, and he pulled, but he's going for the third. He's like, wait a minute. He's like, this is literally the exact same thing. And I was like, yeah, it's fine. I was like, I want it because it came out separately. You know, it came out after the fact. So I have to have it in my collection. He's like, are you sure? Because like this is the exact same game. Like there's like both of these games are actually on this one disc right here. I was like, yeah, it's fine. It's no big deal. I want it because it has to go in the collection. It's like, all right, man, it's your money, but I was like, yeah, it really is.
So you have GameStop employees now arguing with you, going, "You don't need to buy this. You know this, right?" I mean,
Yeah, pretty much. I like my old GameStop employees because my old GameStop employees, like, just they understood. Like, they even helped me. Like, if they saw a game come in that was rare or whatever that I've been looking for, they would call me at my house and say, "Hey, look, this thing just came in as on a used trade-in. I'll hold it for you. Come on up here." Like, those people were actually like cool. Now the guy is like trying to like to tell me like, "Hey, look, dude, you're stupid for buying all this shit." I already have my wife for that. Like my wife's already like I don't need another person telling me. Like my wife does a damn good job at telling me like you're stupid
Why does she say that?
because I buy games like I bought 3 copies of Destiny and like she says that's stupid.
Yeah, yeah, it is. I would have divorced you already.
It is kind of funny.
I would have taken the kids with me, and it's America, so I'll get away with it.
though.
You can have the kids. Fuck that shit. I don't care what I squeezed out of my vagina. I'm living with kids any more than I have to.
But
Shit, little fuckers didn't even pay rent when they were in there.
Jesus Christ.
I need to go and I need to find this John Kill JTech TV stream and watch it. It must be fantastic. Then we go JTech.
They actually stream together?
Yeah, he's part of the PlayStation Legion. Yeah, John Kill 3D. He is part of. He's part of the PlayStation Legion thingy.
and I just really hope that what John Kill does is just he's just a terrible troll. Because he really has some serious mental health issues if he's actually like serious, like with the shit he says.
It's hilarious. But I mean, that's the thing. Like he just reaches out and he gets people to join his little cult, and these people are just as bad as he are, and it just makes the.
it's like the Bloods and Crips of gaming.
Yeah, it's pretty.
But I mean, just kind of like how Dreyer thought that, like, because a lot of people like looked at his article, that meant that his article is right. John Kill thinks that just because people are talking about him, whether like everybody's basically making fun of him,
Yeah.
he like for some reason like the more people that talk about me, the more I feel that I'm right.
Yeah,
Like, people want to hear my message, and like
yeah,
no, they
YouTube
don't want.
is the same way. YouTube is the same way. Any press is good press. It doesn't matter if I'm the laughing stock of entire communities. It doesn't matter how insane I am to normal people. At least people are talking about me. It's pretty bad. It's really bad.
It literally makes no damn sense at all.
Well, it kind of
I've
does
never-
because when someone talks shit about you to other people that you've never met before, guess what? Now they know who you are. And
Well, yeah,
trust
but
me,
I
that's
mean-
actually really effective.
Well, no, I get that it's effective to get views. I mean, I get that, but I mean, like I've heard like John Kill like say that these people actually want to come and listen to what he's saying because they feel that he's right. But they're not like there's not a single thing about anybody that comes to his stream that makes that can lead somebody to believe that they think he's right because they call him out like constantly.
Yeah,
Like
I
his
mean,
his like to dislike ratio is I've never seen a disproportionate enough to because you have like 1 like and I think it's probably him liking it
Yeah.
himself.
I mean,
and-
I got this cool little widget thingy, this add-on to Chrome that shows you all sorts of stats for YouTube videos from like thumbnails and things. Like I can see engagement rates for videos. I could see where people are coming from, like YouTube, Google Plus, Twitter. I can see like dislike ratios, all that stuff.
Is it called
And-
Tube, buddy?
It's vidIQ.
Oh, okay.
And let me see. Let me go to John Kill 3D Gaming.
Like it's like a like very. I mean, it's more disproportionate than that guy girl.
Yeah, I mean,
It
You
just
can
it doesn't
look-
have the same number because of the fact that he's not as popular to get the thousands, 1,000 dislikes. But if he could, oh, definitely he would. I mean, he would have like 2 likes and 1,000,000 dislikes if he was if he
Yeah.
had that many subscribers.
and you can tell by the videos, like the engagement rate on his gamer and a PC fraud gamer video, his engagement rate is a whopping 45.1%. And you can look, I mean, the video has 448 views, and there are 115 ratings for it, which is insanely high. And there's people just come there, and and then they downvote it, and they leave. So, oh, you could see estimated earnings. Apparently, this video has earned him $0.67. So that gave him 67 cents. So the whole argument people say, well, you're getting me money. No, not me. 67 cents. Good job. His like ratio is 5.2%. There you go. Let me see if I could do one that I did on him.
It's
on
just
YouTube.
like it's just weird to me, like how I mean I can understand like people equate like to popularity because I mean, he's definitely becoming more popular because of the fact of him doing stupid shit, but the popularity then again doesn't equate to you being correct.
Very true.
But he's just a special. Wow. I don't know. I mean, y'all said NoobTube is worse than John Kill, so I don't know if I can stay. I don't even.
I don't know. They're both really awful. You get to a point with
They're
these
both
guys, you just have
autistic.
to say they're both just.
Well, I listened to
terrible.
the debate between Fringy and NoobTube,
Oh,
and
it was. Oh.
it's terrible because
Yeah.
like they're trying like Fringy's trying to stay on the subject, and like talk about like objectively there's more games on PC. And like instead of him just saying, "Well, yeah, obviously," well, that I don't think that's not really necessarily true because like, what if people don't like the games? It's like, well, that doesn't matter. It's like there's just more. It's like, well, yeah, but and then he goes into like that. Well, I had a game once that on PC that I just didn't like it. I'm like, what? That doesn't matter. Like,
Yeah,
what the hell?
it
We're
doesn't
talking
matter.
What?
quantity, not quality.
And he keeps going to the point of like he just sidetracks the like I guess Frinky says something about laptops, like that you can get a laptop if that's something that you want to do, and whether like instead of him just addressing the fact that or acknowledging the fact that yes you can buy gaming laptops, his response was something like that. I don't think that people are going to because I had a laptop and it burnt me. Like
Yeah,
it
all
left
of his
I'm
little
like-
things were either anecdotal or
Yeah.
they were based on feelings or an opinion.
I was like, but I mean, sometimes like most of the time they didn't even have to deal with what was even being discussed. It was just some roundabout way to talk. And it just
Yeah.
like, how did I don't understand like how Fringy like kept his cool through that. I was like,
Yeah, that's the thing. God bless Fringy for being able to put up with him for an hour and a half. God bless
I would have
because-
I would have wanted
would've
to
just
slap
been
him through
like,
the.
Ugh.
I couldn't have done it, like,
because
'cause-
you have to have.
It took all I had just to listen to it. And I could
Yeah.
imagine like actually having to have that conversation with him.
I watched it and I was just kind of wondering like why Fringy didn't do more. I know he was trying to be
Why didn't-
nice because Fringy is usually a pretty chill dude.
Oh, you mean why he didn't go in on him more?
Yeah, he could have called out. There's a lot of shit. Like you guys know how I am with wordplay. Like I understand
Oh.
words better than most. And I fucking listened to that shit and I was like face palming my desk. I'm like, Fringy, you didn't call him on this, man. What the fuck? Like
I think Fringy probably saw that like his motto was like kind of keep it simple, stupid. Because I mean, even by keeping it simple, because he kept it pretty simple in the debate, and it still wasn't even the guy couldn't even focus or be able to stay in a simple mindset. Like so, if Frankie tried to call him out on his wordplay, like that would have been
Yeah, I think a
that'd have
lot
been
of
like a
times,
7-hour debate.
yeah, like I don't think what's his name? Bullet Berry was way too soft on him.
I didn't even
And
watch
Oh
it.
yeah, Bullet Berry was like
way too soft on him.
yeah, he was like just like having a just a chat with him,
Yeah, it's
and
like you got to call him out when they say some stupid.
it was
bullshit.
almost like
You
he
gotta
was
do
like
that.
giving him justification for himself. To it not, I mean, he didn't justify it for him, but he was kind of like giving a platform to basically just give like kind of like self justify as within himself, and that was I was like, no, like don't do that. Like
And,
even
yeah, go for him. Go on the attack. Press him. Make him stand up for the things that he actually says. Don't just let it pass.
I mean, because most console gamers that don't care about PC like don't want to like have that be some sort of representative of the console gamer.
Oh yeah, I mean
'Cause-
everyone thinks these people are retarded. That's why these
'cause-
channels are tiny and they stay tiny
Yeah.
and they're vilified.
Because I just
But
And
when
somehow-
he says something stupid, hold him to that.
oh, and there was some stupid thing that Fringy said that it wasn't stupid that he said it, but um, something along those lines. Like he said something that some fanboy he don't think that a fanboy would ever say, and like somehow NoobTube Gamer has had that had that said to him, and it was like something that no PC gamer would ever say. Like I have yet to ever see.
Oh man, video game or PC gamers all the time. Kind of like how Riley said about how what people do when they hear a
Alright.
woman likes video games or board games or something like that. About how we all freak out and how we ask them
Oh, yeah.
questions to make sure they're really into it.
I was like, going, I've never. I don't know. It was so painful to listen to. And I don't know how people can actually have, because that really wasn't a debate. It was kind of like Frankie trying to take him to school. Like, just please, like, just learn something from this. But I don't think he did. I think he left still thinking that he won that debate.
I mean, he's a sad little man, but he's a great punching bag. He's great for channels to get big. Like he's like these people like Mr. NoobTube Gamer, JTech TV, John Kill 3D. All these people are just like punching bags. They're practice for channels to get big. That's all they are. Like they're like the boss at the end of a tutorial in a video game, and that you're designed to win. Like you're supposed to beat them, and then you can progress to the bigger and better things. Like that's basically what
I didn't
they are.
really think of it that way.
That basically is, because I mean, like they set themselves up for it. It's like they just walk right into it, and then it's kind of like they. Oh, go ahead.
I mean I get being like trying to like educate people, right? Like I understand that, but the point of the debate isn't to educate. It's literally to fucking decimate somebody. That's literally what you're doing. You're supposed to be holding them to the things that they're supposedly believing in and watch them fucking crumble and decimate their own belief structure. That's the whole point of destroying somebody in debate, really. If you're going to educate people, then fine, educate people on, in a video on a one-on-one like I do and talk to them. That's one thing. You can do it that way. But don't say, hey, this is a debate, and then be like, oh, guys, hey.
I think Fringy saw that it just wasn't like, even if he did that.
Fringy
Like, you
could
were
have
just-
destroyed him. Fringy, like
Oh,
I've seen
easily.
Fringy destroy. I've seen Fringy destroy people.
Yeah, he could have. I mean, he could have easily destroyed him, but I don't think
Afraid of running him off.
NoobTube would have actually been able to like even determine the
around.
fact that he actually got destroyed. Like it's like he's not all there. Like the elevator just does not go all the way to the top. And so
Yeah.
once Fringy started like destroying him, like his mind would have been like going, well, Fringy's my friend. Like he's wanting to be friends with me now. Like
Oh, yeah, you know what? You're right. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, no, you're right. Because a lot of people, when you talk to them on a one-on-one, like say we could be chatting for however long, for one day, and they'll be like, "Oh, he's my closest friend." I didn't even think about that. Yeah.
it's just I don't know. He's like those people scare me because like I said, there's something wrong with them.
They're freaks, man. There is something wrong with them. They've got some socio, so I don't even know, some psychological
Abandonment
disorders up in
issues,
the brain
maybe?
machine. They are not right in the face.
No, and they were given some sort of camera and access to the internet for some reason. You know, well, it's funny. I didn't even realize it, but John Keel, unless he's streaming from his PS4, uploads in 4:3 aspect ratio.
Let's see.
I don't
That's
know
how
who
the
does.
pros do it.
I didn't even know that that was even a thing anymore. Like,
When
I
you
figured that-
when you put John Kill 3D Gaming's name in, the thing that pops up is Rags. John Kill 3D Gaming Rags. Okay. Let me see. Go here. Original video. It's been deleted. Deleted it. That's great. Let me see. John Kill 3D. Let me see, because I haven't even really known. Normally, because try to pay attention. It looks like he's streaming some game. PS4 review. His intro, yeah, it is. Yeah, his video is not in. It's not in the right ratio.
It's 4:3 or 4.3. I haven't seen anybody upload in 4.3 in like a long time.
Yeah, let me crop
Do
this.
y'all's
copy,
phones
paste.
even have a 4.3 setting?
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't.
For the
checked.
camera, it does.
It does. Like I've never. Mine always come out in 16:9, so I've never.
Here, yeah. Let me post this, guys, for you to see in the chat here. Sorry, I turned off the stream to look at that. So let me go back to it real quick. Boom.
Are you linking them? Are you linking them the channel?
No, it is like that image right there. It's like that's what his video. For those of you who don't know, that's what his videos look like.
Yeah,
I mean, huge black borders on the video.
because they're in 4:3 for some reason. I don't
And the thing is,
understand like how.
it could still be scaled up so much, and you'd have less borders. You could only have you should only have 2 borders. You shouldn't have black borders around the entire thing. It should scale. You should scale it up so that it fits the whole screen.
But yeah, because he wouldn't even be doing it in full 4:3, because even in 4:3 there you would
There'd
just
only
have
be
the
2
black bars
black
on
borders.
the sides.
Yeah.
So he's doing it in a cinematic and in 4:3, like,
I don't know.
or streaming in 480p. Because 480p would look like that on a 1080p.
That's funny.
What a joke. Oh boy, these people are just
Oh, I know you don't want to talk about the election or whatever, but there's one thing that I did want to ask, and if y'all, because like he talked about at the very end of his speech or whatever, he said his foreign policy is basically going to be America first.
Great. Yeah.
And now Rachel Maddow from MSNBC and now Huffington Post is equating that back to the 1940s when some famous pilot, he wasn't even actually running for office, he just got a big crowds together. It was like an anti-Semitic movement, because they were saying that we can't really win the war against Germany, so we need to actually put America first and just not get into it. And so now they're basically saying that Donald Trump is anti-Semitic, and he doesn't care about Jews or whatever, because he's using a slogan that he knows holds, like, people are really deeply affected when they hear America first.
Are they? I don't know what's wrong with
I-
America First.
because that was the movement back then. It was like he basically was saying that the Jewish American, this guy back then was saying the Jewish Americans were the problem, and that he fears them being in like movies and a position of power because they are influencing the government to get involved in the with the Nazis. And he was saying that we need as a country need to not worry so much about the Nazis and worry more about America first.
Actual,
And that was,
actual problems.
yeah, it was an actual America first. The movement was called America First. And so since that was based on anti-Semitic views, then Trump, like this America for some liberal activist group or whatever, like I guess asked Donald Trump not to use that because it's offending some people.
It's ridiculous.
And so Donald Trump just kept on using it. And so they're basically they're saying that that Donald Trump doesn't care about the Jews and that he's
Which is weird considering how pro-Israel he is.
yeah.
And like how he's been like
Yeah, he was
highly
saying, like,
decorated by
he told
Israel even.
in a tweet. He was saying, hold on, Israel, January 20th, be here, soon enough, because Obama has been vehemently anti-Israel. So
Yeah,
obviously they want him to win.
and it threw me off because I'm like going, should we quit? Like that goes back to the whole retard word that whenever I said that, and I was like, just because like a few people get offended, I mean that's actually their choice to get offended. Like he should not have to change his motto or whatever because somebody got offended over a word that he used, and they're wondering like if something was to come up like that again, would he put America first before we try to help out, like say Jews in Germany again? And chances are he might actually do that. He might actually, if it's not going to benefit America at all by getting into a war or whatever, then he might actually sit it out and focus on American problems. And while you might actually have some like human rights conflicts there within yourself, at the end of the day, I mean, it's going to make us better in this scenario. And that's I don't know. I mean, I don't know if it's a bad, like really necessarily a bad thing, or just something that they're trying to nitpick to try to make him look bad.
Yeah.
It was kind of, to me, it was kind of a stretch that just because he's using these two words, that all of a sudden like he doesn't care about Jews, and he's kind of slapping the Jews in the face, and I'm like that doesn't even make sense to me.
Yeah.
I've never even heard. Have you ever even heard of this America First movement back in the 1940s?
Because when someone says, especially when the president of America says America First, I think, well, yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of like a no-brainer,
Yeah, it's like just like I expect the Chinese president, quote unquote, to say China first. I expect Putin to say Russia first. Like I expect Erdogan to say Turkey first or whatever. I mean, it's just what you expect people to put their countries before others because that's their
It's a natural thing to do. They're the presidents and their leaders.
Why is Nazis trending on Twitter?
Because of that, probably. I honestly would not doubt that if it wasn't for that reason.
And I mean, it can be scaled down all the way. I mean, Shaner, your kids. Who are you going to take care of first? Your friends or your kids?
My kids.
Exactly. You got to take care of your kids and make sure all their problems are fixed before your fucking friends. That's the way it should be. That's natural. That's the way it needs to be. I'd be asking you what the fuck's wrong with you if it was the other way around. Like, I mean.
Yeah, me too.
But if you're willing to call the fact that people are calling Trump supporters white supremacists and all that, is that you realize that's why he won, right? Because people are sick of being called this. So you're just setting him up more and more and more.
For another term.
It could. If they keep on, if they keep on like this, it could.
Well, yeah, I mean, because that like they're not. I mean, if they want change, I have no problems. Like if you don't like the guy, fine or whatever. If you want him out of the office, fine, whatever. But go about it like in an actual way that could actually make change. If that's what you're wanting is some sort of change. But nobody's gonna listen to you destroying shit and rioting and calling people racist and all this shit. Like, just actually go about making change. Look what Martin Luther King Jr. did. Like he made change, but he didn't do it through violence and through put downs or whatever. He did it through basically civil disobedience. And I mean, I just don't understand why they go destroy, why that is okay, why people are. I've had people tweet today talking about are people really surprised that by these people destroying Starbucks and like that, I mean, what do you expect whenever Trump is president?
Can have coffee.
And I'm thinking to myself, going, so why is it because he's president that gives you these people a right to destroy shit? How did I don't
see now if you were actually questioning one of those people, they'd be like, "That's your white guilt speaking."
Oh yeah, that's I did question one, and that's what I got back, and after that I just kind of I already knew where it was going, so I just quit. But that's another kind of asinine thing that.
Okay, so Raven says Mass Effect 2 is free on EA Origin right now.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
Yeah, that was. I think that's kind of actually wrong. Been a while because that thing's been free for probably a couple of weeks now. I'm surprised it's still on there.
I gotta re-download all that stuff. I just got done reformatting my drive because I just got done getting a new passport for media, so I could do more content. I picked up a 4 terabyte yesterday. It's the passport, the 4 terabyte passport that doesn't require an AC adapter. So I'm looking forward to that. I got a lot of content coming. Got some squad day videos I have to edit from all the guys. It's gonna be fun. Got re-download a lot of games though. I gotta re-download Titanfall so I can work on that video or finish that video. But seems like things are starting to wind down. So if you guys want, we can do our closing.
Yeah, that's fine. It's 2:10 in the morning, so I'm good with us running down a bit. Yeah.
All right, cool. All right, so Rambo, do you have any plans besides do you have any other content coming out besides your 1316 killer video?
No, I'm not going to be doing another 1316 killer video, hopefully. But tomorrow I'm going to be uploading a full collection video. I'm going to go over every one of my physical disc and then kind of give an update on the games that I'm playing as far as where I'm at with the trophy run, but that's going to come out tomorrow.
Okay. All right. Shannon, what about you? You have any more shitpost videos coming?
Yeah, I actually have a shitpost video I'm editing now, and I'm thinking about going to Starbucks and asking the local employees what they think of what happened to their fellow Starbucks in DC.
You should record that.
No, just turn on your audio recorder for your phone and put it in your shirt pocket. Wear a shirt with a shirt pocket and just walk in and be like, "Hey, what do you think?"
And then, I mean, as you order coffee, ask him to put Trump on the cup.
Okay.
Yeah. What's your name? Trump.
Oh yeah, if you guys didn't realize this by now, Shannon's got number 5 coming.
You son of a bitch!
Number 5.
Yeah, number 5.
The kid.
No.
Is
Nope.
that like? Oh, why?
That's the running joke.
What's the running answer?
No.
You don't.
My wife
so
has
you
an
don't.
EMP grenade.